many different hats, and sometimes we're not comfortable with those worlds sort of intermingling. You know, you're comfortable putting up a picture of your dog with everybody else in the world looking at it, but sometimes you might be sitting in your boxers, having breakfast with your brother in a faraway country, and you want to share that only with your family group. And it's great to have an app that is able to differentiate between your personal life, your public life, and what you call your official life. But over here, what we're going to do today is introduce you to Team Loyalty. Team Loyalty was my gang in the last season of Roadies, and I was blessed to have an incredibly good gang that sort of collected amongst themselves, and they chose me as the leader. And it worked out really great because I get to hang out with these guys even after the show's over, and they're a great bunch of people. That's Michael. He's a Bangalore boy on that side. Mike, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi. My name is Michael. I am a fashion model and and I'm also a content creator. I got my start with content creation quite a bit after Roadies, but before that, I also used to work for a cybersecurity company, but now I'm full-time into fashion modeling and content creation, so that's about it.
Yeah, so Mike wears a few hats as well. Then there's Hamid. Hamid is from Delhi, and he won Roadies last year.
Hello guys, this is Hamid Barakzi, and yes, I've won Roadies with Nikhil Chinappa, one and only. So I'm a dancer, I'm an athlete, and that's all.
And he's got a very charming smile. Makes killer reels. And of course, there's Mr. MMA, Kevin, who was with us on Roadies, and now he's on Splitsvilla in the current season going on. Kev?
Hi guys, my name is Kevin. I'm so happy to be here along with everybody else. There's so much talent in the room. I'm so glad to be a part of. I'm an MMA fighter. I'm into reality shows. I also make my content. I'm trying to start a new thing with these guys. So hopefully that'll be a hit.
Yeah, so we might as well plug it. Kev's working on something called Dazed and Confused. I'm still not quite sure what it is, but it may have something to do with what he did last night, which he can't remember much of. So it kind of goes with the theme, Dazed and Confused. And finally, there's Arushi.
Hi guys, good morning, namaste. My name is Arushi, and I was a part of such a beautiful team, Team Loyalty. Loyalty is royalty, that was our theme for the entire show. I'm an actor, dancer, currently running a fitness program which involves both physical and mental health. And I'm somebody who goes with the trend of the need, not like the trend, but like, I love dancing, I started with dancing. I loved acting, I started acting. I loved working out and teaching people how to work out, and that's how I flow. So as Raj mentioned yesterday, 6 life in 1, that's what I am. Thank you.
So here's the thing. All 4 of them come from very different backgrounds and different life experiences. They met together on Roadies, and from being in a space where very few people knew them, they then became household names all across India because for some reason, Loyalty is Royalty, that tag, and Team Loyalty just took on a life of its own. It wasn't intended to be that way. I think Kevin came up with the name during one of the tasks, or was it, Mike came up with the name in one of the tasks, and then that name just stuck. And social media has pretty much changed their lives in many different ways. So who wants to go first and talk about their experiences on social media? Kevin? Kevin is in the news a lot. Kevin had a very public sort of meltdown with his best friend Gary on a television show that they just did, Splitsvilla, and the girl that he was seeing. And were you in love with her? No. Yes, no. Okay, so all of this happened very publicly, and it was quite incredible because I got a bag of popcorn and I watched the entire thing. But Kev, how has social media been for you?
It's been great. It's been life-changing. Like before I got famous, I don't know about everybody else, but then before I got famous, I was very confused. I was dazed and confused. And I didn't know what I want to do in my life. Like, seriously, I had a lot of skills that I could put off use, but I didn't know how to like put it out there for the world to see. So I've been using my social media for that specific reason. I also have like a Kevin show where it's like my Instagram. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you can figure it out. I make drama. Basically, everybody, the public, what they want to see, even on reality shows. This is one thing I learned, that everybody wants to see drama. right?
The reason we're laughing is Kevin's life is the Kevin
Drama.
show. It's the Kevin show, and it's hilarious. If you guys have watched Roadies and Splitsvilla, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's just like, if he's able to document his life and put it out there, that's content.
It's going to have a show of its own.
There you go.
Yeah, so it definitely changed my life. Now I know what I want to do, how I want to do it, how I have to pursue it. So I'm just trying to grow and, build from there.
Mike, you were talking about how you wear different hats and you do different things with different people, and how an app like mine would be very useful for someone like you who creates content but also leads a personal life on one side and there's a public persona on the other side.
Yeah. This absolutely would help because, see, basically for me on my Instagram, I post a lot of, it's a mixture of personal stuff, it's a mixture of work stuff. So ideally it would be awesome if I could have like different personas, because I would ideally like prospective clients who would hire me to only see my modeling stuff and that not be mixed in with my social media posts and that not be mixed in with my family posts. So I think an app like mine can definitely help me like segregate those personas, so to speak, so I can only have the people who I want to see what they have to see.
I think for Mike this is really important because about a month and a half ago, Mike started his nipple diaries. He didn't intend to start his nipple diaries, but he started to do a lot of reels and pictures and videos with his nipples for no reason. I mean, not just his nipples, but he was shirtless. And I'm assuming that a lot of people in your family don't want to see that, but maybe a lot of girls do. Maybe some guys too.
Exactly.
So yeah, we definitely need to separate the nipples from the rest of the content, right?
Yes, ideally I would love to do that.
Hamid?
Roadies में रहना है तो Hamid कहना है. Hello.
So how has social media been for you? Because you came from a relatively unknown background before Roadies happened, and then once you won Roadies, things got a little crazy.
Yeah, so I always had this thing that I want to be famous, and after doing Roadies, I got a lot of fame, and then I didn't have the confidence. Then gradually I started making reels. I knew that I was funny, but then I was scared to make videos and put it on Instagram. But then gradually it happened, and now I'm much confident. So yeah, it's been really good.
Well, one of the things that Hamid does not like talking about, and he's actually genuinely a very shy person. For many years now, he's been working with people from Afghanistan who come to India for medical treatment and who don't speak the local language. You speak Pashto, right?
Yes.
And he and his family have been doing the rounds of different hospitals, and they do it completely pro bono. They take them to these places and make sure that if the person is getting a cataract operation or being treated for diabetes or kidney stones, that they're able to communicate with the local doctors and nurses and medical staff. And they do that completely free of cost. And I think there's a lot of companies in India that would happily volunteer from their CSR fund for an activity like this. But in order for that activity to be funded, it needs to be put out there on social media. And it's not something that Hamid can put out on his Roadies personality and portfolio, because over there, that's a completely different world from what he does on the side. So again, an app like mine would be able to separate what he does in his like funny guy state of mind, doing the reels that he does, singing and dancing, falling flat on his face, to this other really serious charity work that he does on the side. And he's been doing it for many, many years.
Exactly.
I had to say it for you, right? Right. Arushi has been wearing many different hats for a while. Tell us how you would use an app like mine.
Since I have a personality to show on social media, I have to be up there all tied up, neat and clean, nice looking girl. But then there's a different side to it who's not that chirpy, who doesn't always talk for people to gain attention, rather talks for somebody who's in need. Like, for example, mental health or fitness, or there are a lot of kids that are already enrolled in my program as young as 14-year-old, 13-year-old, who want to have a different side persona of mine. So I can't really put two things together and cater to the audience that is out there. So I think mine will be a great platform for me to segregate those two kind of audiences. And as Nikhil mentioned, of course, because of the pictures or the content I put out, I can't always show that to my family. There's nothing wrong in it, but yeah, I would like to keep that to things separate, my personal and private life. So I think mine would be a great app to get that into use.
I said this briefly last night as well, that we're right now sitting in the middle of an exploding creator economy. Yesterday was, like Danish said, yesterday was Bitcoin, today is NFTs, and tomorrow certainly belongs to social tokens and the creator economy. And you guys are all sitting smack bang in the middle of it. And in my opinion, mine is an idea whose time has come. It's just a question of how people interact with it, how they engage with it, and how that community grows. That's all that we have to talk about on stage, but if anybody has any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer them.
I'm sure some of you might have ever wanted to come on to Roadies. Is that true? No. I was actually very inspired by all of you yesterday because I know there are a lot of creators and I would love to learn how to be that confident in creating content. We were on Roadies doing our own thing, but you guys are amazing. I've seen yesterday what kind of hard work you put out in creating your content, and all the very best to you on Mine app, because I will be really looking forward to your content to watch on the app.
I actually have one question. Why do most Roadies contestants want to prove themselves? What is this word prove? Who taught them this word? And why does everybody from Chandigarh do Roadies and then do Big Boss?
Well, none of us are from Chandigarh.
Is that the average life of a professional from Chandigarh?
Well, I think... Can I answer that?
Go ahead, yeah.
I think every youngster in the age of that phase always wants to prove something to their friends or family or the peers that they hang around with. So it's nothing a topic that they want to prove, some subject. It's just that they want to show that they have something in themselves to build a life of their own. And that is what every roadie contestant you see online doing that. And I'm sure all of us are kind of roadies in their own way, doing their own thing, proving it out to the world, what they're made of and what good they have to serve around.
Awesome. Round of applause, everybody. What an answer.
You want me to give you a philosophical approach to that? Serious answer?
Yeah. Also, I have another question.
Okay.
Being a Bengaluru boy, how did you manage to get your Hindi so right?
I grew up in Agra. My father was in the army.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that was it. So why do people want to prove themselves all the time? It's what I call the youth trilemma. And let me know if you resonate with this, if any of this resonates with you. A trilemma is basically a dilemma, but it has 3 angles. Everyone, when they're at a relatively younger age, regardless of their background, which country they come from, what language they speak, what religion they follow, is faced with this trilemma. Number 1, will I fall in love, and will somebody fall in love with me? Will I find love? At some point in time, not even soulmate. Sometimes it's just like a one-night stand. You want to get, yeah, you know what I mean. It's just a question of, will that happen to me? You're always looking for some sort of satisfaction from an emotional point of view or from a physical point of view. And I think the younger generation, everybody goes through this, right? Will I find love, and will somebody fall in love with me? The second one is, will I make enough money to support myself and my family? Will I get a good job? Am I doing the right course? Am I pursuing the right career? It's something that the youth worries about, regardless of where you come from, which country you come from, what language you speak. The third one, which is the proving part, is, do I have the respect of my peers? Not strangers, but my peers, in terms of the gang that I hang out with. Do they think I'm cool? In every gang, there's the funny guy, there's the guy who's into cinema, there's the guy who's into bikes, there's the guy who cracks jokes all the time, there's the guy who's really into music and knows all the latest songs and albums and singers. And amongst that group of friends, you're always trying to find a space where you're respected amongst your friends. And for some reason, actually I think we know why, Roadies is that sort of badge of you've done something good and you've achieved something. So it really does tick that box, the third part of the trilemma.
Wow, that was a very deep answer, Nikhil. I've never thought about it like that.
Thank you. That was incredible. All right, guys, any of you have questions for Nikhil or the team on stage? Any question at all?